Hello everybody and welcome back to another Live and Let's Dice live here on a Wednesday afternoon. My name is Jules Gill. Hello, howdy, how are you doing? I'm just going to weirdly expand this, can I even expand this? For some reason, the camera, it doesn't seem like it's fully incorporating the screen. But hello, everybody, and welcome. Tech Issues with me. God, what a surprise, eh? I tell you what, I always keep you guessing, don't I? Hello, everyone. I'm back. A few weeks off. I know my schedule's been getting in the way of chilling out and having some fun streaming with you lovely people, but I am back once more. This time, once more, delving deep into the paint pots, as we're going to be painting some knobs. But before we begin, let's take a sip from the chalice, a freshly cracked new one that I'm trying this here, because I've seen that Jenko's in the chat already, and I'm trying this one in his honour. It's not a mango one, I know, but we have to try out the competitors sometimes. So, Lucasade Alert Blue Rush. Oh, that's fucking bollocks. How is that so powdery? I'm sorry, this is absolute dead air. That is so disappointing that I've now got to drink what is effectively 500 millilitres of high caffeine plus vitamin B3. The B3 stands for bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. That is the powderiest drink I think I've ever had. Good to start the stream in a good mood. Fantastic. Hello, everyone. Fuck me. I kind of want another sip, though. So what does that say about me? What does that say? What? I'm the problem here. Anyway, right. Back on. How's it going, Brad? Right, okay, so hello, everyone, once more. I just want to say a massive shout-out for all of the people who've been wishing me well. Wish me well for the surgery I didn't have. Thank you very much, NHS. I love you loads, but at the same time, I didn't enjoy getting there on the day to have my surgery cancelled. So, not as fun, but I've still got to wait 3 to 6 months to figure out whether or not I'm actually going to get that done. I'll be fine. I'm alright. I'm still climbing, mate. I'm still doing running. I'm still doing cycling. I don't give a shit. I'm swearing a lot at the moment, and I apologise to Charlie, because I know that I do not want his first words come out of his mouth, Super Armstrong, to be bad words. But still, that Lucasade Blue Rush has definitely put badness in my bones, and I apologise. So I'm going to go on the counter-offensive now and do a bit of dad swearing going forward for the next 20 or so minutes, and then that should basically balance the scales somewhat. By the way, another reason that my vibe's off, not only because I've been a couple of weeks out of the game and I'm feeling a bit rusty, as I always do, you might notice a little friend of mine gone. Can you spot something that isn't there that should be there, apart from my desk, which has moved to that corner of the wall? I'll explain that in a minute, because I've had basically reorganising my entire studio. I told you I was going to do it, and I'm actually a man of my word for once in my life. Remember all those times I said I'd finish a game? Forget those. But this one I'm actually keeping, right? So, yeah, the bike has gone. I don't know how to break it to you in any other way. The yellow... I don't know why I keep doing this to my fan base. I don't know why you would even follow a man who gets rid of the yellow wall first, for those Choose Your Own Adventure followers from way back in the day. I got rid of that first, and I knew I was taking the piss. I thought to myself, this will show him. This will reward people who've fallen in love with a yellow wall. I'm not having a yellow wall upstage me. Did that to you. And then I get rid of the bike. I honestly feel like I need to get down on my hands and knees and beg for forgiveness at this point in time. The amount of people that have said that they prefer the bike over me. The bike's got a better personality than you. The bike weighs a far lot less than you. That one was a bit rude, but I got over it eventually. But at the same time, he had to go. I know, Murphy. I know, Murphy. It just ain't my colour, TJ. Anyway, right, I'm going to say hi to the chat over here. Don't worry, by the way, the bike's in a good place. We've given him to our good friend, Kerry and I. We're going to sell it because I'm just rearranging all the studio. I may have mentioned it. But we gave it to our friend Kai because he actually wants to get into cycling. And I thought, hey, look, I've just bought myself a new mountain bike, which is more appropriate for where I live, here in Wales. So the road bike's going to go somewhere else, and it'll still be getting used. It's literally gone, because he lives next door to a farm. It's literally gone to a farm. And I know that sounds like a basically just taking it around the back and... But I promise you, the bike is okay. It's in good hands. Well, it's in hands. I kid, Guy. I'm just joking. Time for another thrilling sip. A Blue Rush? I'm annoyed as well, because the only other drink I've got in my local proximity is some lukewarm squash. Who's that at the door? Oh no, is that Kerry? Have I left my keys in the door? She's going to be fuming. Right, 2 seconds, be right back. Don't you rotten. Don't you rotten. Do you want to come say hi to the chat quickly? Yeah, I'm streaming now. Oh, he's back. He's back again. I also not get sponsored by Luke. Said, "Oh, I'm not." Am I fussed? Am I fussed about that? Anyway, where were we? They'll probably just clip this out and do like the Homer Simpson thing, like, "You're very good." What does he say? Like, "Her sweet, sweet candy." It'll be like that, where I'm just going like, Lucasade, Blue Rush, it's... And then hard cut to... All right, if the choice was this or swallowing hot coals. Anyway, right, let's say hi to the chat. I always put that off. Right, so, boo, scroll to the top. Red Infernal, I know that you are not here, but this is for you watching on the replay. Hello, my friend. Thank you very much for the support, by the way. Love the fact you've got the old official sponsorship of Live and Let's Dice, looking very nice, next to your name. I have to do a bit different because I don't have the colour changer for the wall thing behind me. So instead, if anyone does actually re-up their membership, they'll get a personalised ASMR message that was... basically what you just got a taste of there. I can't promise they'll all be that good though, because clearly that was pretty good for a one day Tony or you know what I'm saying. A Murphy, good to see you, my friend. Asking a question about the painting of the knob. Great, I love it. I love the fact that you're getting right into the thick of things. However, I think we've already covered the Space Wolfie one because we do have a blue and yellow knob already here. Unfortunately. But come up with some other combinations. Hello again to Charlie and Super Armstrong. Love you both. Jenko. Oi, oi. How's it going, mate? Good to see you. And hopefully I'll actually get to see you with my little peepers soon in real life. I need to figure out what's going on with my schedule because exciting news. I can't tell you what I'm going to film, but I can potentially tell you who I'm filming with, because I don't think that would give it away. And it's not really under NDA, it's my own company. But it's not even that. It's kind of... I'm doing something with work, right? But at the same time, I'm getting to work with somebody who you all know. In fact, I won't tell you. Just keep your peepers peeled for a little special guest appearing soon. Pretty big stuff. Going down to London to film that tomorrow. And... then when I'm back, believe it or not, I think I have 2 uninterrupted weeks of being here and not having to just go to random places or to events, which is going to be nice. It's going to be nice because that'll give me time to actually start doing this. The plan, by the way, for the room, even though you can't actually see the wall that's actually being changed in question, this wall here, going to paint this solid colour and get soundproofing done on that corner where the skull painting is there. That wall there is going to be all that sound foam all the way along. Get rid of that beam there all the way along the bottom as well. Lights are going to get taken down and we're going to get like a floor wash light instead to make it look real nice and professional, cozy. That's the vibe I'm going for in this one here because I spend so much time in this room. I want to feel actually like it's a nice environment. Vitali, whoa! Haven't seen you in a while. Haven't seen your beautiful mug since Clash at the Castle. Mate, what a good time that was. It's weird, isn't it, that wrestling seems to have both gone up and down since that Clash at the Castle. We've gotten some great quality matches. We've had some bollock storyline in both good and bad ways. And now we're just at this post-Mania lull where certain things are good, certain things are rubbish. Kind of feels like the way that I felt after Avengers Endgame. Just kind of like, that is a Marvel.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for subscribing. Basically, just like it is a film. That is a wrestling match. Don't know. There's nothing like pulling me in at the moment, apart from the Judgment Day. And to be honest, the only thing that's keeping me into wrestling at the moment is the What Culture Wrestling guys on the What Culture Wrestling podcast, which is so weird because it's like you shouldn't be as big a fan of your mates making content as I am of them doing that. Like, I watch every episode of the video podcast without fail. I haven't even watched half of the wrestling matches that they're on about, but I just like the back and forth, and I miss the banter between Sidge, Hamlet, and Wilborn. And Stacks, obviously, for those who don't know. He's the extra fourth guest. And obviously, Adam Nicholas being the amazing producer, and Phil Chambers for coming along, and from what I hear, always ruining things by breaking tech. If you've not followed them already, give them a follow. And if you like wrestling, obviously, that is a big part of it too. Connor Maloney says, let's get some dagger. Lovely stuff, Jules. Keep on killing the bread. Oh, thank you very much, Connor. I appreciate that, mate. Maze Through says, rum is never disappointing. There's a lot to unpack there. David Ultra says, just finished building the magnificent Horus Ascended. Woo. There's so many parts there, man. And I'll be honest, Dave, how many times did you have to bust out the hairdryer to reforge that plastic? Because that Forge World resin, it's a bendy boy. You know what I'm saying? Mate? They're a game company. They're a model company that can't make models. I kid. Of course, it's a beautiful sculpt. Although, don't get Fulgrim Ascended from what I hear, unless you are an absolute... is it a sadist or a masochist? I can't remember the one that enjoys pain on themselves. One is like inflicting pain on others. Sadist is yourself, right? Masochist. Oh, let me know down below. One of the two, or both, because of the fact that the spines and the wings are apparently a nightmare to put together. So have fun with that. Crazy Doug is in the chat. Hey, man. Hey, you're going to love this, mate, because next week, starting on the channel, we've got an orc-based campaign, and Crazy Doug's Deathwatch army that he's lent to Beanie is going to be used as the first people that I'm battling against. And I'll give you a little hint. It's going to be a speed freak list taking on the Xeno Hunting Deathwatch to begin with. And it was a riotous affair to film, and I hope that you all enjoy it. And the idea is that every single week for the campaign, Beanie will be taking on a different flavour of orcs. So we're dubbing it the Tale of the Four Warlords, and it's going to be against Speed Freaks, the Dread Mob Detachment, the Bully Boys, and the Beast Snaggers. And it's going to escalate in point value as we go. So it'll be like 1,000 points, 1,250, 1,500, 2k to finish it all off. And each person, every time the person wins, they get a small reward. Oh. Thank you very much, Sean Schultz. Oh, thank you very much. This is me pretending to eat a block of cheese. Oh, man, that's nice cheese. Thank you very much, Sean. You're an absolute legend, mate. What is your favourite orcish unit? Don't do this to me. There's too many good ones. I mean, in-game, hands down, it's got to be Gretchen. They are decent in-game. They've got an amazing ability that farms you CP. Never leave home without them. 40 points for a 10-man, technically 11-man blob. They're great on the back line. Doesn't matter if they die. Just, yeah, it's free money. It's free money, baby. In terms of the orcish unit that I love the most, it's a toss-up between the Stomper, because of how ridiculous it is, and maybe... I do love the Beast Boss, the Beast Boss on foot. I just think that he's a magnificent model. He looks great. Like, any of the war bosses look amazing. the War Boss in Mega Armor is just a lovely model as well. So yeah, I'd go War Bosses of different varieties, Stomper, and then competitively, Gretchen. Little Gretchen. Little rat boys. Thank you very much, by the way, Sean. I appreciate you, mate. Thank you very much for re-subbing. Christopher Steves in the chat as well says, Keh. Hey, TJ, how's it going, my friend? Glad to keep it active, but thought you were missing something. Yeah, well, the thing is that, like, I just got to keep going, innit? Just got to keep going. Yellowism and Carter Kessel caught up here. Vitali, early Choose Your Adventure was the GOAT. It was the GOAT. Yeah, man, I still love doing it. Every single week. Obviously, it's changed a lot because of the fact that I'm not technically with What Culture, so I'm just like filming it ad hoc, freelance-wise. And the skits and the music stuff has changed. But Sai is doing an amazing job with the editing on it, because it's like when I hand her over the files, like I say, like I ad-lib quite a lot of stuff, and obviously quite a lot of bloopers, and there'll be some stuff that I will structure with Sai to be like, okay, you record a bit that is you reacting to this, whatever. But sometimes I'll give her the files and come back, and there'll be 3 or 4 segments where she's put herself in, and it's always great because she's just got a good understanding of comic timing and also when and where to step forward and step back. And yeah, absolutely love working with her. And I'm hoping that as the series, well, as the studio gets a bit sort of more professional, hopefully we can up the content quality on it, and then things just start looking and feeling different. And different isn't always a bad thing, but still keeping that sort of silly quality. Because, you know, my inspirations for a lot of the content I make can be traced back to the normal Boots guys, like Kadikarus, and I'm trying to think of one of the other. There was Kadikarus and a guy called Brutal Moose. I haven't watched his stuff in actually ages, but Kadikarus was like my main inspiration because he was like a British guy who's relentlessly funny, endlessly creative, and still going strong to this day. Like, he's exploded in popularity. And I remember watching like his first stuff way back in the day and just being like, this guy has got joke after joke after joke, and it's like watching Airplane movie play out in YouTube form. And I immediately was like, man, not that I wanted to emulate and be him, but there was just like that style was very encouraging to me developing my confidence and how I wanted to present my comedy. But I would. But he's changed all the way that he's done his stuff as well. It all evolves. It all evolves, mate. It all evolves. Murphy says, I missed the wall. Yeah, I know, mate. I know. Well, you'll have a blue/teal wall to contend with. I'm not to get sponsored by Luke. We're back on this one here. I'll get an airdrop of the goods. Oh, yeah, thank you very much. It'll just like crash through the window here, and Mango Loco will just pour through, just drown me. It'll be like, It will come in there with like a little animated hands and feet, and it'll punch this can and it'll just annihilate it. It is so powdery though. I don't think I've ever had a drink that's dehydrated me as much as that. Murphy, don't apologise for forgetting about the orc pain. How are you meant to pick up on all of this? And blame X anyway for that. Who's in the chat as well? Hey X, how's it going? AMA, what army would you give Kerry to play? Ooh, that's a tough one. I would probably... Oh, it's Masochist. We've got to that bit there. The Goth Rocker. There's my one here. Warhammer Community featured Goth Rocker over here. Actually, hold on. I'll move over to the laptop cam so you can get a good look at him. He was a very fun one to paint, this boy. Made him obviously a custom stage. I was hoping, because the photos that I sent over, you could only see it from basically this angle here. And I really enjoyed doing the squig as well. I had so much fun. But I also had a really fun time doing his guitar, because I did like tiny little lightning strikes all over it, man. And I know that the light is absolutely blowing this out and you can't really see much of it, but Yeah, that was a really fun thing. Just tons of little mini scratches, just layered up with different blues. And yes, obviously he's standing on top of a giant bomb to show the real devastation of his music. Okay, I'm getting my knob out. Sorry, Greg. Apologies, man. Robin M, how's it going, my friend? Big love. Hey, Jules. To be fair, I still know almost nothing about Warhammer, but still need to. I love the fact, Rob, that you have supported me and the What Culture channel and Future for so long. I keep seeing you in the chat. It's always a pleasure, mate, and I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. Matt W says, first live stream I've caught, huge fan, and I never missed the top 10. Thank you very much, man. I really appreciate that. Big love to you. Dave is back again saying, never needed the hairdryer, but snap the world. Oh no. Oh no. Yeah, having to pin models as well. Ugh. If there was an equivalent of the ick for Warhammer, it would be that. Having to pin stuff. Anyway, we've moved over to the cool cam, finger cam. These digits. Where are they going? Right, what am I doing? Basically, it's a sad time in a way because we've reached the end-ish of our painting orc knob journey. We painted up this guy first, which was a lovely purple and orange combination. And don't get me wrong, there's still like elements to do, like extra highlights and layers that I'll do off camera. But we were only focusing on getting the base colours down on these bad boys here, and then I'll finish them up. Then we had X's one over here, which was the blue and yellow, the monster over here. And then on Instagram, I asked a few people. We got a yellow and red boyo over here that needs to be finished off, but he's been blocked out, and that's absolutely fine. And another one from Insta, which I really enjoyed painting this one. This is a Storm Vermin contrast, so a nice little teal, black or grey t-shirt, brown trousers, and cheeky little purple hairdo. He's loving life. So that's 4 out of a 5-man squad that we need, and I've already got 5 painted up, ready to go for my Bully Boy list. So this is the last model that I need for it, and I realised this when Mace, I do appreciate that you can still see the purple orc, so it's technically not purple. It must just be a shade of red that they can see. Now, it's weird because I know that after this I'm still going to be painting orcs in my spare time, because I love doing it. But this is the last one I need, and probably will need for quite some time, because I tallied them all up. And with the bespoke list that I'm talking about, with like the Beast Snaggers, with the Death Dread ones, with the Dread Mob, the Bully Boys, what other one was there? Speed Freaks. Like, that's like 1,000 points of Speed Freaks. It's like 1,500 points I think I've got of painted Beast Snaggers. I've got 1,500 points of the Death Dreads, like on my Grot tanks and my my massive walkers. And the Bully Boys, it's just these knobs that I need to paint. And I totaled it all up, and it's about like 6k worth of orcs that I've got completely painted up after this point. Like, I've got even models that I don't even use, like I've got Snickrot and the Commandos. I've got tons and tons of other models that don't get to see play, but I really just enjoy having at a moment's notice. So this is good. It's a weird feeling. I could run so many different versions of so many different lists, and in the current Orc Codex I can pretty much run every single thing. I mean, the Green Tide one with 120 boys, as much of a meme as that is, I'm probably not going to do that. I don't fancy painting 120 boys. So this is it. This is where we're going. This is the last boys. So we need to decide. Voltali, not a problem, my friend. Big love to you, and please smash out that uni project. It is indeed. If you want to talk about what you're writing about, let us know. Maybe we can come up with some ideas for you for the creative ones. Maybe you write about some English guy who drank a terrible energy drink and now has to paint orcs. Just throwing it off the top of my head there. So we need to come up with a paint scheme for the final guy, the hardest guy, because he's obviously got the squig at the top, which is going to denominate that he's going to be the boss knob of this knob group, even if they don't actually have one. But we'll know we'll know. So I am now going to let the chats throw some ideas out, suggestions for what colour schemes we can do, and just let me know. Also pick a colour for the squig as well, and we'll try and work that into things. Now I've got a lot of, I've got pretty much every single contrast paint that's out there because I just keep bloody buying them. So go crazy with the colours, man. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out together. Ooh, TJ suggesting blood red and black. That's not a bad idea, actually. So how would we do it? We'd do fleshed hair as red on one panel, black on the other. What colour would we do as t-shirt and trousers then? Paint it like a Sentinel of Brobnar. Oh. Oh, yeah. Ooh, you know how to play to your audience, don't you, brother? Okay. I'm keeping that one in the little back pocket there because that's good. Charles Ander says, first time viewer of the stream, long time fan of FGS and Mod Culture. I had no idea these miniatures are, but I'm eager to learn. Thank you very much, mate. I appreciate that. You will get a crash course on why on this channel in particular, we love orcs. All we care about are big green boys with massive muscles who may or may not be sentient mushrooms. And if that is confusing, that is only a pebble in the ocean that is Warhammer weirdness. But yes, welcome aboard and lovely to have you here. Dooma Stranded says, hey Jules, been a big fan, first stream I've got. Oh, loads of people getting to chime in on the streams. This is fantastic. I'm personally still struggling with painting. It's still my first couple of models, and I feel like I'm ruining them. Do not worry, my friend. If you were to dig out my first army, which is Space Wolves, you will see that there's big blotches, massive colour issues. Like if I try to do edge highlighting, it's all gone completely wrong. It doesn't. I know that it matters to you now, but it doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. What matters the most is that you have fun painting them and that you shouldn't stress out too much about what the overall finish is. If you are happy to take a model and show it to a friend and say, I painted that, then that's the level we're looking for. If you don't want to show people it and you just want to paint for yourself, that's also fine. But just don't think that it has to be like Golden Demon award-winning stuff, because that's how I got into when I first started painting. I thought that it had to be perfection, it had to be perfect, and I get stressed out too. But then I quickly realised that it doesn't matter. Like, at the end of the day, most people, whenever they pick up a model, and it's not being critical to them, it's just how we are as people in the Warhammer game, most people will just like go, oh, can I have a look at one of your painted models? They'll pick it up, and even if it is like an amazing model, they'll go, oh yeah, that's nice. That's it. That's how much it means to most people. But to you, that's all that matters. So as long as you're happy with it, that is the most important thing. I had that happen to me before, where I was like super proud of a model. Somebody picked it up and immediately put it down for 5 seconds, and I was like, oh, I thought that was worth more. But then I realised, why is it worth more? Why is my painting with it? Yeah, it's a whole thing. Also, learning how to do Slap Chop Plus is going to be a real saviour if you want to feel like you're getting good real quickly. So what we do with this one here is we spray painted the model black. We dry brushed it with grey, Administratum grey, or Ministrum grey, whatever it's called. Then another dry brush of Dawnstone. Then we did Spaceship Exterior, which is like grey sear, I believe, in the Citadel range. And then finally we did a down brush of Titanium Bold White. And so you've got these nice sort of like peaks and lows in their naturally made shadows, so that when you put contrast over it, it sinks into it and then does basically a load of shading for you. Now you could just leave it there and be done with it, and I know a lot of players do that. But where we want to elevate it is we basically treat that as the base coat, and it basically shows us where the natural highlights and shadows are, so that we can then easily pick them out with just a few deft brush strokes to highlight those highs and lower those lows. And by doing that, you end up with models that are very detailed, have natural shadows in them, and are very rich and vibrant with colour, and best of all, has not taken you a ton of time to do. That is the real winner in any painting thing, is cutting down on the amount of time it takes you to get through large models of them. Unless you really enjoy painting singular models, and I don't blame you with that. It's just that when you've got a lot of models to go through, that is the easiest way to get them on the table and looking good. Right. Oh, so one of the pieces about Greek mythology stories as stages of grief. I've got them all written, just need to make that longer. I thought, whoa, that sounds really fun, actually. Nice. Well, I hope you do really well with that. and I hope that you get that handed in on time. Orange squid with jack-o'-lantern war paint on his face, warrior. That is fantastic. How would I even do that with his little face here? What would I do? I'd do so orange over it, and then the jack-o'-lantern. I could do like black outline around the eyes and mouth, and then what? How would I do it? Like, I run the risk of making it like what's that pop star that's going around at the moment? Jojo Siwa, with the sort of like black face paint and eyeshadow there. Oh dear. If you're thinking of a suggestion to paint, what about tritone? Dark purple is the base colour, lavender is the highlight, and sienna for low shadow areas. So it's basically all different shades of purple, so it's the most invisible orc that we could do. So you'd have like a dark purple on the t-shirt there, and then a lighter purple here on the shoulder pads, and then edge highlight of that. I guess that is kind of the Sentinels of Brobnar scheme. But now that Murphy said that, the idea of having a purple shirt, purpley trousers, and two red things there in honour of the Sentinels of Brobnar is actually something that I do find very appealing. Jojo Squigwa. Yeah, that's good. Just enjoy yourself in the process, TJ says. That's all that matters. Just wait to see. Sorry, X. What have you said here? I don't. Joe Star Org, amazing. Okay, right. Okay. Jojo Squigwa. Okay, we'll do that. We'll definitely do the squig as that, because that is funny, and I like funny. Okay, so what are we doing then? Are we doing Sneaky Orc or Sentinels of Brobnar Orc? Those are the two choices that I'm putting to the chat now. So put Sneaky or SOB in the chat, and I'll give it like a minute while I start painting the squig, Jojo Squigwa. And we're going to start with a Magmadroth Flame as the contrast paint here, because it is potent. Also, Callum, I saw your message in there. Hello, my friend. Big love to you. Hope you're doing well. So what we're going to do is we are just going to go wee all the way around the little face. Jojo Squiggle was a inspired comment. He's covered in bitch. Does anyone watch Meat Canyon stuff? Or Papa Meat, as he's called us on the channel. He did a rendition of Jojo Siwa's Bad Karma or whatever it's called, and they issued a copyright strike for him of him just singing it like that, like "Karma's a bitch," and he's like, "What? Why? It's not using the official track. It's me doing singing badly version of it. Like, what? Are you saying that it sounds so much like the original that you want to claim this?" So silly, isn't it? So silly. Oh, okay, so we've got a consensus here. Maybe give the boss knob some bling to show out a golden tooth. I like that. We'll do that, Volt. So sneaky, SOB. Hey, JRH. Sneaky, and the enemy is going to see them. Okay, right, so what is a squig, Charles? So, Charles, a squig is this little fella that is on top of his little boss pole there. And basically the way of thinking of it is that if these guys are sentient mushrooms who are angry, these guys are just smaller versions of the fungus that is also very angry. But they come in all shapes and sizes, and weirdly have all sorts of weird abilities. Like, some are called targeting squigs, and they'll have big eyes, and they can be plugged into a weird sort of neural network for the orcs to help them aim better. There'll be buzzer squigs that emits electrical shocks when they touch people. There'll be acidic squigs that basically explode on contact. There will be giant squigs that people can ride. they're basically whatever the orcs need them to be. And because, and this is going to sound so weird now as I realise I'm saying it, because orcs have this amazing ability to bring anything into existence or make stuff work through the sheer force of will or belief that it will work, it means that the squigs can do anything they need them to do and will just happen to populate areas where, say, they need certain stuff. And they also make a tasty snack as well, so they always carry them around. So say that they were like, oh, if only there was a bloody squig that let us breathe underwater so we could just go down there and kill all of the underwater stuff. Wouldn't you know it, after like a couple of weeks, these squigs would start appearing and have some sort of like little lung sack that they could wear over their heads and then use as diving bells to go down. It just happens like that. And that is why orcs are the best faction in 40k. Because they are the silliest, while at the same time being utterly, utterly brutal. Because don't forget, even though they look stupid and do a lot of silly stuff, they are horrible. Oh yeah, hair squigs. So you may see that there are some orcs, like this guy here, who's got like a big ponytail up here, or a top knot. This is actually a squig that he stuffed into the top of his head, and it's latched on and allows him to grow hair. So they're all bald normally, but they accessorise by stabbing giant hair squigs into them. Base the lead belt and lose black Templar. Oh yeah, nice. So finished my Templar. I used base them in black and lead belt and used black Templar contrast to give a metallic black finish. How do you improve this method? So what I would do is, if you've got so you base them in lead belcher, give them a dry brush of a lighter silver over the top of it, and then use either Black Legion or Black Templar. And what you'll do is you'll then get a weird like gradient of the black, so it will be metallic-y black in the highest points and then quite dark black in the shadows. And again, that just means you've done a transition and it immediately looks a little bit better as a result. So we've done a little bit of Jojo Squigwa over here. We'll wait for that to dry before we attempt to paint the jack-o'-lantern thing. I'm going to try and figure out, so I need to look at what her makeup is to make sure that I get it right. Oh dear me. Joe Siwa. Oh god, the makeup's so bad on it. It's just like, it looks like she looks like everyone's first Warhammer model. Like it's not a good look. Oh dear. Okay, right, so we need some Baden black for that. Yeah, it counts. It's crazy, man. There's a perfect copy cover of Teenage Dirtbag done so the band could own what was their own song. What, so Weezer did this? Oh, so they did it with lyrics and composition. And they got copyright claims on YouTube. Amazing. Just so dumb. So dumb, innit? That's something I need to try. I joined the Iron Hands a while back and I'm not 100% happy with how my troops turned out. Iron Hands are... this thing, it's the same with Custodians. People think, oh, they're easy to do because they are a majority metallic-based army. It's easy to get paint on a model, true, and same with Necrons. To make them look good, you've got to be a bit creative with it. You've got to think how to make those highlights really pop and not just have a flat wall of metallics. Right then, so in we go, bro. We are going to do the Sneaky Orc, and I'll get onto that, but I'm so enthused by the idea of doing Jojo Squidward that we're going to do that first. Ew, where did this layer brush come from? So, ew, brother. This must be one that they give you in a starter kit, because there's a shocking finish. But that's what we're going to use, because that's what I picked up, and I cannot feel silliness. Oh yeah, Mace. It's. Oh, am I pronouncing that right? By the way, is it Mace or Mice? Or mice? Pied? Okay, right, so let's water this down a little bit because we're going to need to get a bit thinner edge on this. And it looks like, from what I'm looking at here, that her hair and eye makeup is, it's kind of like you got your... So we're just going to give her the mascara look around the... And we just drag it down. Doesn't necessarily matter if we get it in the squeezer. I am going to change this bloody brush because this is not the edge I'm looking for, brother. The real question is, does it flare out at the sides? I think it does. It needs to be thinner. Thinner! Mais. Apologies. It's quite possibly the dumbest thing that I've painted in a while. The best part is I don't even need to be neat with it because the actual real life rendition is so shocking. Okay, right, we've done one eye here. So dumb. We can pick it out with highlights later on. All we're worrying about here is just getting the base down. I'm going to paint his eye fully black so that we can come back to that later. Come on, you little monkey. I don't know why I'm persisting using this brush. This brush is shocking, GW. You give this to people who want to start out an army. Shame on you. The reason that I'm saying that is because it's got like a weird false hair. It goes to a point, but the point is so weak you would never actually hold any paint on it. I'm not a corn product. You're pronouncing it like corn in Spanish, like, alright. The only corn here is my jokes, bro. Oh, fuck this brush. I'll say fuck it. Right, let's get old reliable. Where's the most beat up brush that I've got? And yet somehow I bet you I'll still get a better result out of it. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for that brush with a crusty tip that don't give no what's about it. They're the ones we love. New brushes suck, man. Give me a big chunker. I don't want to do this to myself as well. I don't want to bloody hold it, Jules, you fool. Right then. Doesn't matter if we get it in the eye. Just in the outline. And then we'll reward ourselves for all of this amazing work with another sip of, what was it called again? Blue Rush. Rush to the bloody toilet, more like. So stupid, painting a bloody squid like a child pop star. What colour shall we do the squig's eyes to make it pop? Should we just give it human eyes? Just make it really unsettling. When I went over to my mate Stu's house years and years ago, and his gran completely misheard my name. And they were like, can Jules sit next to you here at the table for dinner? And she was like, rules? Who's rules? It's like, first off, Granny, you ever heard anyone be called rules before? Don't be acting like that. Okay, let's give it a few more squiggly digglies. And then one big flare out to the side. Okay, right, so the basics are there. Jojo Squigwell. Sorry, just realised. It's one of those moments where you just have a crystallising thing of like, what are we doing? Okay, right. So, okay, so should we go for, because the rest of the model is going to be purple, green fluoro. Okay, cool, right. I don't have any fluoro, but I do have striking scorpion green, which is muy potent. Let me just get it for you. Striking scorpion. Strike hard, strike fast. Right, let's slap this on there. See where it gets us, because we can always highlight up from there. There's a base coat. It's quite a stankulous green. It's another big bonus about the Slapshot Plus method is that because the shadows are very big and blocky, you can just chuck a lot of paint onto it and it will soak up real nice. Still, you've got to be careful with using contrast paints. Obviously, you've got to know when and how to work them around the model. Oh yeah, that is disgusting. I love it. Well done, gang. We've made a monster. Oh, I don't even know if you can see that. No. The problem with the light source here, it just like ends up blowing it out. But trust me, it is green. Don't look that green, but it is green. Actually, should I? Probably should focus it a bit more to this scale. 2 seconds. What I'm gonna do? Get into the properties. Do 2 seconds. Let's try and see if we can focus it at this level. And then that way you should be able to see things a little bit. I don't know if you will be able to. I don't know if it'll even go that far. Oh, there we go. Cool. Right, so we have made a little bit of a monster here. Ah, yeah, it does kind of look like the pumpkin stalk as well. Yeah, that's great. Warp lightning might be like that, Volt. Okay, right, so did we decide if we're doing the ridiculous realistic eyes on them? Because if so, I'll add them in just so you can see how mad this is going to look. Okay, right. Remember, kids, we can always dial back our actions with this as well, because if we're painting it white, we can chuck a bit of contrast in it. Imagine if this video gets claimed because she doesn't want me to paint her like a squig. Right, can my fiddly little hands get this dot in there? Turns out, yes. So I'm just going to tidy up the teeth as well, so it's going to make for an easier job. It's disgusting. Why do I get the feeling we're going to spend the entire stream just painting the squig and nothing else? Full send. Get it, Jules. Thank you very much, Mike. Thank you very much. Actually, is the other eye closed? Oh, that's weird. Kind of is and kind of isn't. It's one of those eyes that you can either make for yourself or just don't bother putting it in. So I think we're going to have to go over to then dial it back if we want to do this. Yeah, okay, so I've given it a big flat eye, so now we have to tidy that up. Probably should have noticed that when I was painting the black in. Hey ho. It is a weird eye, but it kind of is there. Yeah, that kind of works. See the two little dots? Hey, what's up, guys? I hate how I know that song. But that's the only bit I know of the song, but it's just there, perpetually in my mind at some point. So, have I always been an orc player? No, I started off with Spaceballs in 40k. Then where did I go next? Then I went to Emperor's Children. Then I started picking up orcs. And since then, I went into Chaos Knights. Got Black Templar's army out there. My friend Gareth is painting up for me at the moment. What else have I got? Tau. He painted up as Star Wars Tau, which looked amazing. I'm trying to think what else I got. Sentinels of Brognar, obviously. I painted up a lot of Chaos Space Marines for a bit. I do have a Death Guard army as well that I need to go back to, but it's it's a tough one. It's a tough one, that one, because they need to be real grubby and grimy. I need to figure out a good way of getting them on it. Star Wars, yeah. Okay, right, so we've got the basics down of Jojo Squigwar. Now I just need to figure out how we're going to make this. Step it up, step it up. So what we're going to do, we're going to do his colour scheme. So what did we say it was going to be? We said it was going to be different shades of purple, darker purple on the inner, lighter purple on the outer, right? That's what we're doing. Going up to a sort of like pinky hue as well. Okay, let's just have a look around, see what I've got. Because we could do Sigvald Burgundy. Doomfire Magenta is like hot pink. I don't know if we want to go that crazy. I've got Luxian Purple, which could work for the darker ones. I've got this Sigvald Burgundy as well. And I know that we will end up using that. Where is it then? Where is it? Too many bloody pots of paint I've got here. See old Jules. What's she up to? What's she up to, mate? What's she going to do? She's not got anything else in the purple range. The Parrot Palette. We've already got. Let's see what This is what you pay for, guys. This is why you become members. To hear me rummaging around off screen in the paint cabinet. you what, you won't find this on any other channel. So why not subscribe or become a member? Because you wouldn't want to miss out on this. You wouldn't want to miss out on this, I tell you what. I thought that I had some shiny purple around, but it looks like it has dried up or gone walkabouts. So. Dark purple for clothing, lighter for metal, scratches and spikes, iron. Got ya. Okay, right, so I know that these colours do not look complementary, but they will be. Start with some Luxion purple. That'll be the darker ones there. That's also another thing you've got to do. What's the best way to donate to your channel endeavours? Well, just either become a member, which would be fan-dabby-dozy, but if not, we do, I think there is a donation thing there. Subscribing to the channel also helps. So just whatever, innit? Just whatever people want to support. That is absolutely fantastic. Thing is that I unlike probably, and I'm not calling people out, I understand it's their job and right to do so, I try not to push super hard for memberships, donations and stuff like that, because I realise the economy that we live in is pretty hard for a lot of people, and I feel like my job affords me a nice platform that's been provided by the support of people like yourselves. So asking for more than that, other than your time, which is the most valuable resource we all have, that is completely up to you. Obviously, I'd love it if the channel made a ton of money, because then it means I could put that money back into buying new crazy things or going on trips that would be able to promote collaborations, but I ain't going to force anyone to spend money they either don't have or I don't want them to feel obliged to do anything like that. I've just watched too many Twitch streamers and too many content creators where it's just all about the grind and chasing the Bucky O'Hares. And that's for me. Question. I won't forget their goal too. Do not worry, my friend. Do not worry. Question for the Big Egg. Yo, would you ever do an Air Force only Orc army? I've got 12 Death Copters. I've got a Dakar Jet. What else do they have that's Orky air raids? I guess you could make mech guns into tractor beams, which are anti-air. You could probably get a ton of Storm Boys who have the jetpacks, so it'd be like them careening through the sky. You could also... Oh, thank you, JRH. Oh, welcome to the Live and Let's Dice Army Supporter tier. This is wood choking on a pint of water. That was your ASMR. Personalised ASMR on this channel. Tell you what, you don't get that anywhere else. Not that you'd want it, but thank you very much, JRH. I really appreciate that. Welcome on board, man. I hope that you enjoy the content. To give people a reason as to why, if they should ever join us, it's just because of the fact that we have a lot of big, lofty ideals, not necessarily the means to pull them off. We look at other channels like Tabletop Tactics and Play on Tabletop, who have amazing editing quality and outstanding camera equipment. And it's one of those things of like, yeah, okay, that's the standard we'd like to get to in terms of the visual presentation of what we do. It will never change the types of games that we play or how we play them, because at the end of the day, we always want to provide silliness over everything else. Like our planet or realm that we fight over constantly every week, me and Beanie, is called Brobnar, with two A's to be legally distinct, and it basically is a multiversal realm full of goo and crystals, and we're fighting for like gunge, basically. It's very, very silly. Speaking of choking on water, I remember that I willingly drank paint water after I painted. Oh my gosh. That's... Oh, no. Volt, why? Please, do not drink the paint. It is the forbidden water. It is the forbidden juice. Hopefully your stomach was one after that. How much cash would you require for the big next event, plan, or project? Well, my next thing that I would like to do is buy either a gimbal so that the shots would be far steadier, or figure out a way of being able to do live streams on the Monday so that we could play games live for people and play it there. So apart from that, it would be a case of travelling up to friends who live a bit further away up the country so that we could film with them, make some more content. And also, there's a few people who make bespoke things. I can't say what it is, but there's I would get custom terrain pieces made. I would get custom displays made, like dioramas that would be involved in videos. And there's even some games that GW printed, maybe rules for back in like old White Dwarf magazines that I'd want to resurrect again. I'll tell you this one because it's one that I know that people want, which is there was a White Dwarf with a game called Orc Barroom Brawl. And I want to bring that back to real life with a 3D terrain set, custom models of drunk-looking orcs. I want to bring that back. That's like my long-term burner project, as it were. So there's the purple shirt. What I'll do is I'll paint this in Gryph-hound Grey, and then I'll put a purple wash over it, so we get like a purpley stained trousers there. Very, very smart, very smart. Do you have a link to direct donation? I'll come back. Charles, man, like you, that's I can't ask you to do that. It's like, honestly, even if I was in the realms of accepting that, I wouldn't even know how to price it up yet because I need to approach people to get some stuff made for it. I wouldn't want to put that burden on somebody else. You know what I'm saying? I want people to just enjoy, and I really do appreciate you offering a donation link. I have nothing set up. The only thing that I have here is the live or super chat. So I don't have like a direct link, and unfortunately it means that would be split by YouTube, as it were. I really appreciate it. I do. It's very, very kind of you. If you are... Oh yeah, a Patreon. I don't actually have one of those set up. I only have the membership tiers here. That's all I've got that's set up at the moment. If you felt like you wanted to do a donation, then that could be a way of doing that. And then you could cancel it after a month if you wanted to do that. I honestly don't mind. But apart from that, it's only through direct donations here. I probably should get something set up because I've been meaning to do some stuff for charity this year as well. So I'll need to be going down that route soon. I want to do some stuff for Mind. Because I think that's very, very important, and I'd like to support them. Like maybe paint up some models on like a super long stream, and then we'd raffle them off effectively, so that we could all have a good time out of it. People get stuff that they want, painted up in very silly styles, and we get to help out people as well. There is the purple shirt. What we need to do now is slap a layer of Sigval Burgundy on, and you're all going to be like, what? That doesn't look right. Trust me, bruh. Trust me, bruh. We'll make it right. Because if you look at the other orc helmet that was on here, quite purple there, that was Sigval Burgundy as well. Yeah, I need to sort the Patreon. I always felt a bit strange making two payment methods for one brand of content, if that makes sense. Because it's like, if you basically are saying subscribe here and subscribe here, but it's the same content on both, people are like, am I just being charged twice for the same thing? I don't know. It's always just a bit like, how do people get around it? I don't know. I've never been good with with making money or making business decisions like this. I do have t-shirts and stuff if people would like to see the designs for them. Maybe that would be something that they could buy to support the channel, and it's an amazing design, if I do say myself. Okay, right. We've got one shoulder pad done. Ein shoulder pad. And now we're moving on to the other one here. As you can see, they are complementary. Like, it's one layer of purple, another layer of purple. And in fact, we might paint his trousers in the same style, and then we can darken them down with a wash. And that way, he's the most sneaky big boss of all. And that's how he's survived so long and risen up the ranks. Because basically, he can just crush all of his foes without them even seeing that he's there. Holy shit. I've just seen that, Charles, you've just donated 49.99 buckaroos. What the flipping hell? Oh, you absolute legend. Thank you so much. I don't know why there's no... Oh, and there we go. Thank you very much. That delay on the donation. That's incredibly generous of you. Thank you very much, mate. I really appreciate that. That's very, very kind of you. You didn't need to do that, but trust me, that money, I will put that aside to start paying people to do some stuff there. I will tell you one project that actually is slowly in the works. You may remember that we did a kill team on the back of a Imperator Titan, and I'm looking to get that gang back together again to film a new collaboration, which is based around a Barnes & Noble exclusive Warhammer boxed game that's only in the US called Lair of the Beast, where I'm going to try and get everyone to paint up one of the models from that kit, and then we'll all get together and you take that model, and it's basically the last content creator wins. Like, it's just everyone v everyone, a massive scrap. So yeah. Hey, that's for Pride Month, maybe do some Marines based on... Oh, well, that's the thing. I could get in touch with Cerberus, because you may have seen their work on X. Amazing painter and a super huge proponent of LGBTQ+, being an inclusion within the Warhammer community. They paint up Space Marines based on different sections of the LGBTQ+ community, and my god, they are beautiful, beautiful models, and beautiful models with a lovely message too. And the best part is that they... I take a lot of pleasure in it, how annoyed some people get about somebody else expressing themselves through their own art. Like, oh, this shouldn't be allowed in Warhammer. It's like, absolutely, get to fuck. It's a very, very odd take to have. Right, so we've done his sensual pants there. Sensual pants. And then we'll do his boots black, but again, I will wash it with Drakenhof Nightshade, which I believe is the purple shade that GW does. And then that will then give him purplish boots as well. And then I'll do another purple layer. I'll do metals on this bit here. But we're getting there, slowly but surely. Crazy Doug says, count me in for the charity paint-a-thon. I would love that, my friend. Especially if we could get all of the Live and Let's Dice boys together and we'll tag in and out on calls so we can just keep painting, keep each other entertained, and just keep going. He did steal some Slaneshi pants. You're totally right. I'm just going to grab the Live and Let's Dice t-shirts so that people can see, because I know that the store link doesn't actually seem to give all of the versions of stuff that we have here for some reason. Live and Let's Dice merch. Oh, man. The fact that I've got to type so many things to find it, it's just... Why is that? Discord 20 merch store, there we go. So this was a collaboration with an artist called Richie Lee, and this is the... I'm just going to post it in the chat for people to have a look. Hey, stranger, good to see you, man. Oh, is this not going to work here? Sorry, I'm just going to have to shorten the link because for some reason it's 1,000,000 letters long. Where's that? Two seconds. That is absolutely ridiculous that it's 211. Why is that? Why? Why is it like? Why are you being like this? I just want a quick link to my own bloody merch, mate. Do they not even have like a share button? Jesus Christ. Oh, okay, there we go. I can just go on to this. For some reason, the main page is fine. Okay, there's the options that are there. Feel free to take a look. Stranger, by the way, hope that you are well. How's the kid? Everything okay? Hope that you're still crushing it, my friend. Needs to do his backpack at some point. Then we need to go back to Jojo Squigwar and have a look. Do something like that. Or all four. Why choose? Why be burdened with choice when the select all button is far better? Oh, see you later, Murphy. Thank you very much for swinging by. How are you, Chris? Oh, thank you, man. But yeah, the one that I'm most proud of out of all of them is the new sort of like Live and Let's Die skull logo that's there, that was inspired by Doom and drawn lovingly by Richie Lee. And I just think that it's an absolute banger. We do have some actually printed off for reels here in the UK, and one of the things that we were going to look at doing this year, which is another expenditure that we're trying to figure out how to do, is set up an open day at Firestorm in Cardiff, here in the UK. Firestorm Games. It's like one of the biggest, in fact it may be the biggest gaming centre here in the UK. And they have about 16 to 20 tables that are there. And so I was thinking of renting out the upstairs for a day and then hosting an open day narrative silly event where the winner of the entire tournament gets to have their own section of Brobnar named after them. So we would fight on their planet, which they would tell us what it looks like. So it'd be like, say, let's just pick a name out there. So say Robin M. Say Robin M wins the tournament. The avid Warhammer player that he is. Say you wanted to have his section of Brobnar be like a sunny beach, then we would then do some battle reports based around that, where we would print out some custom like surfboard terrain and have like a water map and some palm trees and stuff like that. So then that way you would always have your little corner of Brobnar there. So Finger, that would be I reckon that would be quite a fun day to do. And thanks to Rapid, who you may have seen on the channel a fair few times, he has quite good organisational skills, so probably would be able to look after getting the tickets in the right hands and making sure that the event itself is looked after. Some people like Brap Scallion have offered to help me out with getting the event set up. Basically, all it comes down to is just me finding the time to do it. And as anyone knows, it is very hard sometimes to just sit down and carve out a few hours to focus on a single project like that when there's so many moving parts. But still, it's something that I want to do because it will give back to the people who support the channel. We can come there, we can meet them, we get to play against their armies, chill out, have a few pints, and at the end of the day, one person gets to walk away and say, hey look, I had such a good time and now I have a piece of a weird planet. I want to try something other than Marines at the moment because I have Templar, I'm planning Custodies, Custom Chapter, considered Drukhari, but I don't know. Ooh. I believe that Peachy Tips put out a video recently on how to paint Custodies in different ways, and one of them looks utterly amazing. It's like a dark, deep, irony silver, and I know that you've just gone from painting a lot of silver and contrast over the top, but just saying, that could look very, very nice indeed. Okay, we're going to move on to Cyborg Brown, I want to say. Yeah, let's paint his belt buckle and straps and his the moccasin style gun holster that he's got on his back. And that'll basically be everything based. We can start taking a look at some details and just tidying up the sneakiest boy in my army. So we're going to go with big sweeping strokes. Do you ever get the feeling sometimes that if you're not painting every day or doing at least some hobby stuff, that you get rusty super quickly? Like, I stepped away from painting for probably a week because I was enthralled with this game called Sandland. I've just been playing through that a bit and also playing a lot of online Blood Bowl to try and get ready for a tournament that I'm going to in August. And I didn't paint very much for that week. I probably did maybe one model. And I was just like, came back to it today and was just like practicing with some wood elves that I'm painting up for the tournament. And I was just like, oh, bloody hell, this is... my hand-eye coordination has gone to pot. So apologies if my lines are extra chunky, funky today. But I will tidy up. I always tidy up. Unless it's after cooking, because I don't like to do that. Last thing I won online was a certificate. It was also my first YouTube autographer, actually. But having my own fancy. There you go. Just gotta get into Warhammer fully, learn all the rules, bring a highly competitive list, and crush everyone. Every time I hear base, oh, the buttery biscuit base. That is a old school reference, and I am here for it. Greg, is that his name? Greg? I was going to say Greg Davis, but that's the guy from Taskmaster, isn't it? What's his name? Greg Williams? Gregory. Maybe he's just Greg. Maybe he has no surname. The only thing I do know about him is that he is constant, potent meme potential. A 21-ish year break. See, I love that. Greg Wallace, that's it. Just add Kate. Thank you very much. I like that. You've come out of the ether to just be like, Greg Wallace! Oh, big love to you. Okay, right, so we're going to give him a goldy tooth over here as well. Remember that we agreed to that. But yeah, he's looking okay. He needs the metallics done. We can sort that out at a later date. Oh, let's paint his little armband too. Although as soon as I just put paint to this, I probably should have done that in purple too. But hey ho, we're moving, we're flowing, we're growing. Okay, so we've got that done. We know that he's got to do his straps, got to finish off the metallics. I reckon that we can probably paint. I'm going to say we should go back to JoJo Siwa now and start adding in some nice lines, getting that look good. I'm dreading painting my minis again. I haven't been able to paint in 1.5 years because of my living situation, but now I can finally get back to painting, and I don't think it's going to go. Hey, it doesn't necessarily matter. First off, I'm just glad that you've got a living situation that now allows you the hobby space and free time to do that. So that's the most important thing. But also, my friend, even if the first model that you paint coming back is utter garbaggio, it doesn't necessarily matter. One thing that my creative writing tutor told me way back, and I'm pretty sure that most people have heard this as well, but I always cite it, is that it doesn't necessarily matter if the quality is Shakespeare. Getting content out there and finishing a project is important for the mind, as it allows you to say, right, finish that, now we can try again. What did I learn from it that I can apply, or not apply, this time around? And at first, I never really saw the appeal of that, because obviously why would you want to put content that you're not happy with out there, or not your best stuff? Always put your best foot forward, is what we're told. But there is something about the art of finishing to then reflect, take from that experience, and then move on with it. Because if you get things to like 99% done and you don't finish it, you're not finishing that project enough to actually learn from it and then figure out where you need to change and where you need to adapt. Obviously there are exceptions, but I'm just saying, for me personally, that helped a ton, just to be like, almost just putting the end on something and going, cool, that's done, whatever. Here's the elements I'm going to take from it to move forward, and here's the elements that I'm going to drop from it for the next time around. So I would just say, grab a few things that you're not even worried about, like that aren't going to appear at a tournament, that aren't going to appear in your next few games, and just paint what you want to paint. And you'll find it goes, man. It finds goes. All good, mate. Incredibly tired. Oh, bless you, mate. I've built out the top half. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. So, hey, Nerdy Goth, by the way. So this is the thing. For those of you not in the know, Stranger is an amazing model maker and painter. And I put model maker in there because of the fact that the amount of green stuff that he uses on every single model that he makes is enough to qualify it as a brand new model. He's got a custom Space Wolf army, and he's starting a Chaos army as well. And I believe you're doing it at Adeptus Custodes, am I right? And every single one of them's got like extra capes, furs, extra amulets, runes. They are amazing because every single model has just been elevated. And at the last King of the North, which is a tournament here in the UK, I got a Knight Acastus. I can't remember if it's an Acastus or a Castigator, which is a giant Chaos Knight with a huge rapid-fire machine gun. And after some discussions and me sending up some Chaos stuff for him, he was like, right, cool, I want to work on it, I want to paint it. And just to read that there saying, you built the top half of him, and then a giant monstrous snake, yeah. Feel free. You have full creative control on that one, my friend, because I trust you implicitly with that. I cannot wait to see that, man. It's going to be crazy. Like, there probably will be just a slew of battle reports where I just will be running it every single time because, in fact, I'll just want to have it on the table. Just to be like, look, take a look at that. Actually, like them. Castigator, that's it, yeah. YouTube video making has been great for me to stop being a perfectionist. Yeah, you know what? I used to be the same with recording my lines for both voiceover and for in front of camera. If I made a mistake, I used to get a mild panic attack and hit the stop record button and try and do everything perfect in one take. But now I've just realised that it's that imperfection, it's that humanity. That's what I love about the content that I personally make. It's why I get annoyed. And don't get me wrong, everyone's different and how they present. But you know when sometimes you'll be seeing people and they'll do they can't get through a sentence without 3 or 4 cuts that's there? I'm just I don't want to be like that. So instead I'd rather ad-lib and riff until I get to my point. Thankfully, my editors have learned to work around me because there was a few of them that were right, I'm cutting to the point, Jules. We need to cut down on the minutes. I was like, no. You let me ramble. You let me go. Let these horses run wild and free. Screw it. I'm going to tidy up the purple on here. So we're going to go into the purple section of my paint pile and get out some actual layer paints. Gross. Ew. And what do we have? Because we've got a fair amount of Xeris purple, the Phoenician purple. We've got... it's not a Gene Stealer purple, but I will take that. Gotta love the purples. I know I've got some sneaky, cheeky purples that are hidden around from other companies. What it is. Ooh, just came across a squid pink one. Oh, I told a lie earlier. I do have a fluoro paint. I've got a fluoro orange in here somehow. Must have been from one of my mad heady days. What was I? And once more, you get to hear Jules rummage through a box you cannot see while he's off camera. Again, providing that high quality content. You should subscribe because if you're not getting this content from your content creators, then what are you even doing, my dude? Other content creators can go to hell. Oh yeah, don't worry. The microphone quality here is not good. It is just some regular headset one that I'm using while I'm over in my my other side of the room. There's no other way of describing it. I was going to call it a different wing. Who do I think I am? I want to get a different microphone that I can use on the fly. So what I may do going forward is use either the Rode wireless mics that we use for recording for these streams and put that as an input, or you may also be hearing the laptop that I'm using as the bass because it is constantly sounding like it's trying to lift off, but that is just a unfortunate nature of it's an old laptop, and bless him, he is crying out on the daily to die. But I won't let him, boys. Okay, so we've got our let's take our purple down a bit with a base goals. That may look dark. Don't worry, this is the whole point of Contrast Plus, my friends. We give ourselves a nice base layer to work on, and then we get to basically slap a load of other paint on it. To just big love to you, mate. Thank you so much. Sleep well, and I hope that the family is good. Love you loads. So now we can just slap that lovely darker purple here and ignore some of the edge highlights and even some of the raised bits. Work it in to the corners, and suddenly we now have a super smooth single base layer that will add a ton to the model so that it doesn't look blotchy without having to do any of the work of putting in like 5 layers to begin with. Somebody asked me the other day like why I paint very like aggressively pigmented stuff and love loud colours. I don't know if people knew this about me, but I'm slightly colourblind with reds and greens, which is very annoying. So I kind of have to have them be as bold as possible for me to actually see the difference. And I've noticed sometimes that when people look at my painting, they're just like, oh, there's like quite harsh transitions here and there. I'm like, dude, I can't see them. Like, if you're telling me that's like a child did this bit here, I can't see it. It looks great to me. So what we're doing now is we're just smoothing out all of the contrast that we put on, so that we have a nice solid biscuit base layer, and that is just lovely. Because you can thin it down and just leave it. It's weird, Chris. Like, I don't know how to. JRH, how do you describe it to people? Because it's like, I know that this is one thing is red and one thing is green. Like, I can immediately tell you that is green. This is like an orange. Like, I can see that, but it's just, if you were to put up a shade of red here and a shade of green, and the closer and closer that they got to each other in like pigmentation, or if it bled into like more brown than that, I'd find it hard to just be like, I can't tell what that shade is. My brain will basically default to whatever somebody tells me it is. So it's like if they said, if they were like, okay, this isn't actually red, this is like closer to brown, and then they said it's a reddish brown, I'd be like, yeah, it's red. But then they'd be like, oh, it's more of like a greeny brown, I'd be like, yeah, it's green. It's so hard to describe. For people who have it, they know, they merge, yeah. That's probably the easiest way. I probably should have just said that. Okay, right, so our boy is gathering steam. He's now feeling buttery biscuit based. Explaining colour to blind. What? Chris, are you wait, what? I may have misunderstood the intention of that. Are you saying that you have sight issues? Permission to post the link. I found a series of pics a while back. Show my... Yeah, absolutely fine, JRH. Absolutely fine. Whether or not the Nightbot will have you for garters, I don't know. But if it comes across here and I can click accept, I will. Or if Jenko's still in the chat, or if any of the mods are still in the chat, they can allow that through. So since I was away, YouTube added in a ultra low latency mode here, and it's so funny because before it was like 20 seconds from me saying something to you guys seeing it effectively, and now it's like 15, and I'm like, ooh, ultra low. Thank you, Grandmaster YouTube. You've really helped me. Okay, right, so his purple shirt is looking mighty purple indeed, but now we've got to take a look at the shoulder pads, because that is a pretty pigmented purpley burgundy there. So we've got to think about how we would want to highlight this and how we'd want to raise it up. And I'm thinking that maybe Screamer Pink mixed with some Phoenician Purple may give us the tone we're looking for. So just get rid of those few blotches there. Ah, is it not doing it? Sorry, JRH. Yum. I'm not even halfway through it, man. It's like starting to taste bitter as well. Wow, what is that in this? How can you make a drink so bad? It takes some actual skill. Oh, Christ. Okay, so I reckon that these two mixed together should equate to this. But let's have a play around and see if that actually will work. This is actually low-key my favourite part of painting, is mixing together stuff in the wet palette to see if you do actually end up with something akin to what you're looking for. Now I would say, for a first bloomin' mix, that's actually pretty on point, that. Banging, 1-1. VGC, Vallejo Game Colour, I would say that would be. Oh yeah, because now what I've accidentally done here is I've found the step up, the sort of next shade up, very lightly. Use your words, Jules, use them well. I found the next shade step up from the base colour that we've just put on there, which is great, because now not only can I solidify the colour, but I can paint around and leave the darker areas in the original colour, and so block out a nice colour, but also start building some highlights. And the best part is that we can see, like, there's the little blotchy bit on his thigh here, and now you can just cover all of that up, leave the recesses, and build in that flat colour. And there is nothing quite as satisfying as that. It's just putting over a coat that ties it all together but doesn't lose you the detail where you need it. And I always have my, when I'm messing around with this stage, I have my paints quite thin because I want to do a layer over the top just to make sure that it's the right one. And then if I do make a mistake, I've not, ruined the entire model with that. And I'll tell you what, as much guff as I will give GW for some of their paint lines, their reds and their purples and admittedly some of their browns are the best in the business, in my opinion. Like, you can say all you want about how painting with rack art flesh is akin to pulling your own teeth out, but my god, is Mephiston Red an absolute baby boy, top G, dirty little soldier would die for. It's no use! DC, how's it going, my friend? You okay? I'll say it for you there. I'll say it for you there. For the old timers, for the ones in the back. How you doing, my friend? God damn, I love his purple pants. He's so stealthy. Ain't nobody gonna see him coming. Oh, just... yeah. Volt, I agree wholeheartedly. What would you say is, in the chat, the worst paint, if you do paint, that is, that you've used? For me, it was it was the first pressing run of Wraithbone before they sorted out whatever consistency issues they were having. It was like cottage cheese. Disgusting. Ew, brother. Ew. Hated it. Made me murderous. Hey, John. Yup. How's it going, my friend? I enjoy saying your surname so much whenever I see it, John. Because it's the closest that I'll get to actually being a real-life cowboy. If I put the extra twang on it. Yup. And I know that you'll probably see me. You're probably at some point, because we've been speaking now for well over a few years. You're probably like, Jules, it's not even how it's pronounced, mate. It's not even close to how it's pronounced. It's how most people usually tell me that I've butchered their names. And you're just like, yeah, whatever, mate. As long as you're happy, I'm happy. Okay, right. So what we're going to do now with the Abaddon Black is we're going to take the Phoenician Purple, we're going to mix it with Abaddon Black, darken it right down, and paint his boots from that. It's from Neon Joe. What? Is this an anime that I need to watch? I remember having a full-on breakdown because I had 2 pots of Black Templar and I was convinced one of them had a blue tint, and one of them go, oh man, that would drive me insane. Okay, well, let's see if we can get lucky on the colour mix and match. Number 2, so Phoenician Purple, 1-to-1 with Abaddon Black. Now, Abaddon Black is obviously quite potent, so maybe I'll need to be a little bit careful with this one. I'm just darkening down to a sort of very muted purple. Oh, yes. Ooh, this is quite interesting. We've got a dark sludgy purple. Let's see how this looks on here. I think it's a mix, almost, between Corvus Black. Yeah, it's basically like a dark grey with a purple tint. And I quite like that, actually, for his boots. It's subtle, don't get me wrong, but that's absolutely fine. Because if anything, we just want to have purple across the board in all forms. That will tie everything together for the sneakiest orc in my knob army. We saved the sneakiest for last, lads. Here we are. And his base coating is looking nice. It's giving me something to work with, because what I'll do is I've got the battle report with Beanie that this guy will be filmed in 2 weeks' time. So we'll probably do another painting stream next week, where I will basically take all of the orcs and we'll just basically pick out all the last details. I'll get the guns, the metals, everything all base coated, and then we can have just a whole session focusing on highlighting, bringing colours up, pushing others down, and basically finishing off the units. And that way, hopefully, if I do that and actually crack on and push on with it, should have all of the models finished with time to spare, and we get to have a nice chill stream together as well, which is always fun. Right, so that is his little wee boot he's done. Again, it's a subtle purple nod, as it were. So, what should we do? We're going to leave the metals. I'll do them off camera, because no one wants to see people paint metals. They are boring. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to Jojo Squidward the last bit, and we're going to start applying some highlights to her or it. When you buy the paint can, get it home, it turns out, yeah, Callum. There is an infallible logic sometimes that you bring to the conversation that you just can't argue against. You are 100% right. It must be painful being as right as you are. Okay, right, so we'll stick with that paintbrush, that was fine. It was fine. Oh, just remembered as well, I'm cooking a new recipe tonight. I'm going to try and make a sweet potato and peanut curry. Should be quite a good one, good laugh. Let's say should be quite nice and be a good laugh at the same time, and then bailed out of my own sentence. Love it when I do that. Does anyone else do that where they basically portmanteau a lot of words in their mind? It comes out in the oddest ways. Like, I'm very grateful for my friends because they've experienced my verbal diarrhea, constant misuse of incorrect metaphors, and just the general gist of what I want to say. And they go, yeah, I think I know what you mean. I just have endless patience. Okay, so what we're doing is we are using bright orange from Model Colours, which is the another Vallejo range. I used this for the stippling effect on my Chaos Knights, and it's been my favourite orange ever since. Now, as with all oranges, it's a little weak in the pigmentation, so you've got to put on 2 coats of it. But once more, we're just bringing out that shading. We're leaving it in the recesses, just hitting the tops, and we're just carving out this little squig boy. A bit more detail. Do I need to do anything on this bit here? Probably get a dab in between the eyes. Oh, yeah, that's somewhat okay. Now, if I'm being really crazy, I need to define the black eye makeup. So I'm going to do a few dots in between. There we go. Accentuate the makeup a little bit by using base colour to push back the blacks of the eyeliner that we've done now. Yep. Okay. So we should be able to do another coat of that. This time just focusing even more on the highest bits. Just dabbing, just stippling a little bit. Leaving the recesses untouched. Basically, the first run around this was to define which areas are the highest bits, and then just as it's drying, come in the background, very quick sweep, and just hit in a few more raised areas with a few choice dabs, and then we let that dry for a bit, and then we can come back with a slightly higher one. Oh, what's going on here? Hey, it's Chewy. How's it going, my friends? I know, Chewy. The last knob. The last hurrah. But once he's done, that means that I will have my 2,000 point bully boy list ready to go against Beanie in our upcoming campaign. And it will be bloomin' glorious, my friend. Hope that you're well. Hope the family's okay. And for those of you not in the know, Chewy is a lovely man who appears on our channel regularly, where we take on his many forces in epic battle reports. Okay, right, so that is the orange layer. Very much like a Joker squig almost, isn't it? But we are getting there, Now what we're going to do is we're going to grab some of this light orange. Oh, right, JRH. I just read the second part of that and then had to work back up. I was like, whoa, what's going on here? So we're going to grab some of the darker orange, put it to one side, get some lighter orange, and then slap it right in there. Because the lighter orange has got a kind of fluoro-y tint to it. It's also a lot more watery than the base one. And now what we're going to do is we're going to start picking out things like the kneecap, side of the mouth, tip of the lips. Just little dabs around here and there. Once more, just building up a new layer, even higher, lighter colour on even higher, lighter bits. This isn't necessarily the edge highlight quite yet, because that will be where we dab with the final undiluted light orange. This just to create even more of a transition. Painting squigs is one of my favourite things. Absolutely love painting them. That's why I like painting orcs in general. They've just got like tons of fun detail, but they're big and blocky enough. You can get good coverage, big flat surfaces to really push a lot of colour around. It's funny because I know that if Doug is in the chat, the man has got so much painting experience, it's unreal. So me trying to give advice at this stage where he's been painting for quite possibly decades at this point, it's quite funny. Chris, sometimes. Definitely not all the time. There he is. Yeah, I'm so looking forward to showing off the battle report, which is going to come out next Monday, which showcases off Doug's outstanding looking Death Watch army. Because they are some of the best looking models I've ever seen. Okay, right, so that's 2 layers done on that. And now, while I should let that dry, I'm going to get a very watery, undiluted, light yellow. And just start dabbing around a few tiny little places. Like the lips. Under there, kneecaps, the raised, like most raised bits of this model would normally be the brow and eyes or around there, but we don't need to do that because we gave her the Jojo Siwa eye makeup. We could go even crazier and add some white into this to make it even more of a highlight. To be honest, we don't need to go too crazy with that one. Right, okay. There she is. have a quick stab at her hair, even though I do only have 5 minutes left. But let's see if we can finish her hair in 5 minutes time. A little speed run challenge here. So I'm going to quickly go once more off camera, rummaging around like a little gerbil to find the greenest of greens that I have to make this mohawk for the ages. And immediately I'm rewarded in my search with a cracking skin from the army painter, which is very light green. That should work a treat. It is. Because I want to keep it light. These 3 here. Let's see if we can do something with that. Probably do something with these. Probably use something with these. Let's go for... Which one are we going to go for? Let's take a look at this properly. It's almost like yellowy green for the highlight. So maybe we'll need to mix in some stuff there. He's got some back to the paint den. He's rummaging, boys, he's rummaging. What's he looking for? Not even yet. I reckon this. Some Warboss green. Got a plan. I don't know if this plan will work. This is a true experiment here. True experiment. So there's a good chance we'll probably lose the neon-esque nature of this. Thanks, Robin M. Big love to you, mate. Take it easy, brother. Alright, let's see if this concoction does anything. I do. Fantastic. What I did was I mixed Warboss green with some of that striking scorpion contrast that we used to paint over it. What I'm doing is obviously just trying to take the darkest things, darkest areas, and just give them a bit more of a green punch. And I can probably go a bit. I'll tell you what, friends, it's been an absolutely lovely stream. The only negative thing about it has been a bloody Lucasade. Regret! Ooh, painting some coins, is it now? Okay, right, so that's... Unfortunately, we're going to need to dry. Can't do anything else with it, but at least we have a more of a base coat, unified look. I may be able to work quickly. I may be able to. Let's just see if I can just keep going with it. Start pulling up, pulling up. Might be lucky. Ooh, yes, that's now alright. Keep pulling them up from the middle point now. And then we can use some Kraken skin mixed in with this. And that should give us our top base layer, and then we can put some yellowy green into it as well. Oh, I know what you're doing there, Chewy. I know. Oh, wow, I've just seen Chris Steve donated at $10 dues, saying, see you, bud. Looking forward to seeing these guys on the table. Till next time. Big love, mate. Thank you so much. Appreciate you swinging by. And thank you so much for the donation. I really, really appreciate it. Right, let's see if this will unfortunately ruin things or bring it all together. It looks like we're getting a nice light green to me.
Nice.
If we get a nice light green, then that means that our job is done. And then we just got to add in more yellowy bits, which I think that I have some around here. And that's gonna be it, my friends, because I got a dash after this. Is this gonna work? I've been saying that a lot in the stream, and I just, is this gonna work? Is this actually gonna work? Unfortunately, I do think I've gone a little too yellow with this one. I'll always tidy this up in post. Just tickle that with some yellow. A bit of difference. No, it doesn't look too bad, but probably will go over it one more time with a different, a more icy yellow. I think it's too pigmented is the problem with that. Right, okay, well, that's what we're going to leave it. We now have our most sneakiest orc ever, the boss knob of the boss knobs over here. So that means that all together, we've got this guy, we've got the teal and purple warrior over here, we've got red and yellow, couldn't even be more wrong, which again, I'll finish up off stream. We've got this one here who is nearly done already. And finally, we've got this guy who started it all. Right, I'm gonna have to go, my friends, because I am going to start cooking because we've got somebody coming over for tea. So, big love to you all. Catch you all in a bit, and I'll be back next week with some finishing up of the knobs. See you soon. Love you all. Thank you very much for supporting the channel, and thank you all so much for those who subscribed, donated, or became members. Big love to you all. Bye 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 baby.